What's going on, you guys? Welcome to Risky Ryan Trades. Well, what a rough day after a long couple weeks that we have had today. We have a lot to get into in this video. We're gonna inspect the wreckage, see what happened, look at the heat maps, look at the stocks, look at the indexes. But before we do, thank you for watching this video. If you could smash that like button. And here is my disclaimer. Trading is risky. This is for entertainment purposes only. This is my opinion and not financial advice. All right, so let's take a look at the Dow. Dow is down 1.25% today. NASDAQ down a whopping 3.64%, and the S&P 500, worst day since 2022, and our first 2% down day all year. Even the Russell wasn't spared, down 2.15%. Taking a look at the heat map, you can see big tech sold off in a big way. Costco, Tesla, Amazon, Meta, Google, Apple, Microsoft, NVDA, Broadcom, pretty much all the semiconductors. Even GE took a hit today. Financials not looking too hot either. If we look at the indexes, you can see the only bright spots were utilities and healthcare, defensive names. The SOX short was printing money today. I was able to pick up a pretty solid trade and mitigate a fraction of my losses. Sometimes, you know, when these big moves are happening, you can kind of use some of these funds to, well, hedge your position, so to speak. You can see crypto was pretty much flat, a little bit up. And let's see here, even value wasn't really spared. US large cap growth, SCHD down 3.63% today. Rough. All right, let's get into some of the charts. All right, looking at the S&P 500, today we engulfed every single trading day from June 12th all the way through July 2nd. So the entire second half of June and all of July has now been erased. We did find some support at the bottom of this range. However, I think this gap right here is probably going to get filled. Now, there is a saying, up the escalator, down the elevator. These down moves don't always move in a straight line, but when they do, they move with fury. And you can see this was the biggest red bar, volume bar that we've had during this entire crash. And I regret to inform you that the RSI still has not reached 30 on the daily. And our MACD is pretty wide open right now. So looking at some things that we can take note of, we do have the cloud support tomorrow around 536, and you do have the bottom of the gap at about 536. So that would be where I would expect support to start to kick in. That's not to say that we can't come to the bottom of the cloud to this 519 price level. We do also have the 200-day moving average, which we might be headed towards as well. The S&P 500 looked pretty good compared to the Qs today. And you can see we are already sitting on top of the cloud. And I do believe the Qs are kind of leading the S&P 500. So what happens to the Qs, you can maybe kind of expect to happen to the S&P. I'm looking at the 450 level as the eventual potential bottom. I do want to show you something on TradingView here. So you can see here there's this gap in volume here. And there was nothing but air and we just fell right through it. Yes, we are sitting on top of the cloud, and we do have a trend line right here that has held support for a while, and that lies right at 450, which is also the top of this move here in March. So I do kind of expect this to be it. And you know, I'm never an advocate of a falling knife, but at the same time, like, I have a large cash position, and to hop back in this deep into the correction is tempting. However, we did go through the cloud the last time, and I regret to inform you on the Qs, the RSI still has not reached 30 yet. And I would suspect that it will before all this shenanigans is over. So I am expecting more pain to come. I would be shocked if this is the bottom, if we just popped up tomorrow. I don't see that coming. I don't see that happening. You know, if we have an update tomorrow, I'm probably not going to buy into it. To be honest, I would expect maybe us to come back up to 475 before eventually getting to this 450 number. And from there, we might find some support. We might probably flounder for a while too after this. So we're heading into an election, summer, which is cyclical. So it's going to be a spotty market. Looking at the Russell, we had a bearish engulfing today. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we come back down to retest this 212 level. But I would suspect that we would find support there. We might not, though. You know, like this might hold up. This range might hold up. There's a lot of, there's a lot of people interested in the small caps. So we're going to be looking now at Amazon. Amazon today fell under my Gann fan, but found support once again on the 200-day moving average, and it held the 200-day moving average. The RSIs are still not all the way down on the daily. We never got under the 200-day moving average on Amazon, despite all of these down moves. And we did find support on it once again. We do have the bottom of the cloud at 279, and we do have a fib level here at 176. So there's a decent amount of support nearby for Amazon. Now, all of big tech sold off today because of what happened with Google and Tesla. I would be shocked if every single big tech sold off after their earnings. I would be surprised. Meta sold off 2 times in a row. Is it really going to sell off a third time? And it already took a hit right now, today. So I'm expecting there to be some surprises during earnings that might kickstart the market again. But that isn't until next week that some of those other big tech names start to report. So we could see more down movement, like Amazon. Let's go to my Gann levels here. Amazon's earnings aren't until August 1st. So we have multiple days before Amazon reports. Taking a look at the Heikinashis on this. So we're back in, it looks like a downtrend is forming again for Amazon. Yeah, things are looking rough out there. Okay, let's look at NVIDIA. NVIDIA had a really rough day today. It's sitting on top of the cloud. So it wasn't able to, it fell out of the arc, pushed through this Gann level, and now the cloud is holding it up. Could we see a $101 NVIDIA? If you think that it'll hit $101, go ahead and comment below. Would you be buying if it did? I think I would have to. Google's in rough shape. Rough shape. Let's take a look at the real candle here. So yeah, we had a nice solid gap down and a close within the cloud. We do have support at 170. We have an angle and a GAN level at 170. So if I see Google start to, well, man, I really don't like this company. I still probably wouldn't invest in it. Sorry if you're a Google shareholder. Speaking of companies I don't really believe in, Tesla back in the ARC, closing under Keejensen today. There's a very important thing I want to show you on Tesla. I'm going to do the 4 hour here. So actually, I'm going to go to the weekly real quick. And if I bring this all the way back, you see from the very top, there was this downtrend line. And we popped up over it during that big push up. And we've now closed back under it. And you can see it tried to hold, and then it fell through. So what does this mean? Well, we're below all the moving averages. Or here, we're still above the 200-day moving average, which sits at $200. That's a nice round number, isn't it? So Tesla to 200, it's on the table. It's definitely on the table. There might be a little bounce play that you can play here, but until this thing gets over the downtrend line, I would be skeptical about entering a new position in Tesla. Apple had been holding up so well, and today it closed under Keejensen and the 50-day moving average, which means that the next levels of support that I see are around $205. Will Apple really go in there? Only time will tell, but that looks like that's where it's headed, at least in the short term. And this little Fibonacci right here, I think you might see it swoop up. You know, I think it'll find support right here and then follow the cloud back up. That would be my prediction. I'm holding my shares. I'm just going to be patient with this one. I'm not trimming it. It's just a position that I'm invested in. You know, if we look at the weekly, you know, we're still above Tenkan-sen on the weekly. So, you know, about 214. We could go down to 214 and we'd still technically be in an uptrend on this name. So I'm not yet too worried about this just quite yet. Microsoft had a rough one today as well. Sorry about all these lines, people. But it did drop through the 440 level that I had drawn. And we're sitting right on Keejensen for the weekly. On the daily, we're about to hit the 200-day moving average and the cloud. Now, it has dropped below the 200-day momentarily in previous pullbacks. But I would suspect that like 420, 417, and ultimately 400, like that's got to be the bottom, right, guys? I really do suspect that once we get to earnings, this is all going to turn around for Microsoft. I don't think they're going to report good numbers. They're going to be like, why did you sell us down like all the other big tech names? We're Microsoft. Okay, moving on. Let's take a look at the stocks real quick. You can see we're sitting on the 200-day moving average. We're also sitting right on this line that I drew. And we are well in the cloud. Bottom of the cloud is at 225, and I got another line drawn at about 220. Line below that would be 211. Yeah, and I regret to inform you the RSI is not yet to the 30. We got to the 30 in this pullback, and this pullback wasn't even as violent as the one that we're having right now. So I suspect more pain for the stocks. This name right here, SOXS, keeping in mind that trading is risky and this is not financial advice. However, I picked up quite a gainer today on the SOX, seeing that it was downtrending very hard today along with the rest of the market, but the SOX really was getting clobbered. And so I hopped on my magic carpet ride and rode this one to reduce my losses by about 10% today. Whoop-de-doo, right? But it's something. Okay, so we got NVIDIA, Amazon, Meta, Google, Microsoft, Apple, Tesla. We did the Mag 7. Let's take a look at Costco. Costco today falling below the Gann fan once again. Next level of support I'm seeing is about 810, 811. RSIs though, oh, this is the 1 hour. Yeah, RSIs are not yet to the 30. On the daily though, we are sitting near the cloud, and we do have 2 levels of support I'm seeing at about 814. Now, the name is sitting at 830. That would be an additional 1.8% drop. Costco has dropped now 7.68% from its high. Eli Lilly also fell below the fib fan, sitting below the moving averages. All that's left is now the cloud and the 200-day. So I'm seeing 844 and 837 as the next level of support. And yeah, all these RSIs are not yet to the 30, which means that there could be more to come. And there probably is. If you look at this MACD, we had a rising histogram and now a lowering one. And actually, yeah, so not very good. These 2 green days should have been suspect, lower volume. Today, higher volume than those green bars, but still lower volume than a couple of these other days. So Eli Lilly is healthcare, which can be considered defensive. I think this will be one of the first names to recover. Let's take a look at Netflix. Netflix hanging in the cloud, finding support on this Fibonacci fan once again. We also have the 61 point. Oh, that's yeah. We also have the 61.8% fib level during earnings. This was the box that was created. Let me show you here on the 4 hour. So you can see like the wicks went all the way up here and all the way down here. And so this 630 level seems to be holding, but, or sorry, the 50% level does not seem to be holding. We're under all the moving averages. So I would suspect that we will touch this 630 one more time. The next key level to watch after that would be between 618 and 620. And if we go all the way down, we're going to hit $600. However, I think the damage has been done on this name, and we're going to have to see, you know, like if we go to the daily here, we got to get up out of the cloud. 650 is a big number to get back up over for Netflix. Let's take a look at Visa. Visa got hit really hard today. You can see this accumulation area. This was where I was going to buy it potentially. It just skipped right over it. And so we're in free fall on Visa, which is crazy. Visa is one of the strongest, best stocks you can get, like consistently good. And it looks to me like we're headed to 250-ville, probably lower. I see 2 major support levels at 246. And you also see the top of this movement right here was 246. So Visa to 246 would be my prediction for that name. Let's take a look at SOFI while we're talking about financial stocks. SOFI kind of chopping. chopping around a little bit, falling. We do have a curl over on the MACD. I do want to take a look, though, at a couple of these things here. Just to backtrack, Visa, what did I say, 250? 246 is the GAN level. So I'm going to be looking at, 246 to 250, somewhere in there. If we see wicks form and it starts to respond to these levels, I may go for a dip trade, drawing my, stop loss below some of the wicks, because this thing can only fall so far, right, guys? Okay, SOFI. SOFI falling out of the arc, and we are now sitting at the bottom of the cloud. Not good. Not good for SOFI. We could be heading right back to 668. I do see $7 as being the bottom of the cloud. That could be an area of support. But this whole move has been kind of almost undone. And I don't really think we're going to come back here. I think this GAN level is going to hold. We also have earnings coming up, and I think some of these small caps are going to recover a little quicker than some of the big tech names. Let's look at, speaking of tech, let's take a look at XLK. So XLK closed inside the cloud today on the daily. So let's take a look at the weekly to see. Yeah, so we're above Kijinsen in the Ichimoku for tech. Could we see 188? I don't think so. Let me go to VGT. I think I have some other levels drawn here. So I do see, it looks like VGT is holding up a little bit better than XLK, which is interesting. 550 for VGT does look like there's a decent amount of support there. And then again at about 535. But by decent, I don't know, man. Like that was a lot of volume right there, and we just pushed through it. So, but yeah, I would be looking at 550 for VGT, and this is the technology ETF that I like. It has a lower expense ratio management fee than XLK does. Okay, and so now we're going to dive into earnings because we did have some earnings today. We're going to check in on all of these names, these after the close names, to see how they're responding to their earnings reports. And we'll start with Chipotle. All right, Chipotle is popping at the moment. Let's get a little more granular. So we did pop up to this 50% fib level. I got burned yesterday trying to trade earnings, so I'm gonna learn my lesson, not touch the hot stove again. But it does look like Chipotle has a good thing going here. It is bumping its head against the 4-hour cloud, it looks like. Interesting. All right, we're gonna keep moving along. Next up, we have Ford. Ooh. Oh man, that sucks. That sucks. Ford's bleeding out. Next up, we got ServiceNow. Wild swings for ServiceNow, tapping the 100% fib level I've drawn here. Trying to push over the cloud up to the 38.2. Let's go a little more granular. So yeah, we had a big sell-off and then a pop-up. And it looks like it's going to be settling here at 758. Next up, we have IBM. Also good. So technology popping a little bit. Viking Therapeutics. Similar chart. Las Vegas Sands. Getting hit hard. Newmont. Whoa. Pretty cool. That thing's going. Let's take a look at the 4 hour. Kind of like what I see there. Just from a chart perspective. I'm not going to trade it though. I got burnt so hard last time. I ain't doing it again. I ain't doing it again. Okay. Celestica, whatever this is, getting spanked. Whirlpool. Ouch. Actually, it popped, but then it dropped, and it popped, and it dropped. So investors don't really know how to take this information. Waste management. I got to take out the garbage still today. Ooh, that's what you get for only picking up my recycling one time a week, once every other week. That's what you get. Man, just falling out of the cloud. Look at that. Ooh, man. That's painful, painful move. How big is that? 6%. And now it's dropped 8.5%, roughly 8.25% from its all-time high. That's rough. Okay, let's take a look at crypto. BTC USD. Crypto. That's a weekly chart. Let me take a look at the daily. Okay, so Tengen-sen is moving up. Ichimoku is almost good. I mean, if we can get 68,750, if we can cross over these, get the Chiku span over here, it's going to look a lot better. Now, what does concern me is we had high, lower high, lower high, lower high. So, you know, low, lower low, lower low. So we could see a chop and a retest of this GAN level. Hopefully we don't. Hopefully we don't, but I don't know. I don't think we will. I think we just had a great run up. We're coming down to touch Tengen-sen to go for the next level. Because crypto got hit super hard when the NASDAQ didn't. And now the NASDAQ's coming down, crypto's catching up to it, so... And they do correlate for some reason. Ethereum got a spot ETF today. Coinbase. Ethereum fell out of the cloud today. But finding support at this level, and this 3,300 level? No, it's more like 33,500. 33,500 level is pretty important. It's served as support many times in the past. The only thing is this time we are below Tengen-sen, we are below the cloud. So that's looking kind of rough. Solana's still looking good. Solana had a good day today. Look at that. Solana's been one of the stronger coins. You can see, like, we've hit this a few times. We're over the angle. It looks like this angle is holding. So I like what I see from Solana. Dogecoin. What do we got here? We are at the bottom of the cloud, but we're still holding. Are we still holding Tengen-sen? Yeah, we got to get in there. Let's get right up in there. Right on it. But the GAN level held again. The GAN level held again. We didn't break lower. So now this is kind of on lower volume. but we didn't sell off. So I like the strength that I'm seeing here. You do have support at about 12.5, and then again at 12.9 roughly is the GAN level. So, you know, staying over 12 cents, I'm guessing that's going to be the case. XRP. Hold on, XRP, US dollar. XRP is still holding up on the Ichimoku really well, actually. So I like, XRP looks much stronger than almost all the other ones, maybe even stronger than Solana, I would say, because we have nothing but wicks every time it gets close to this Tengen-sen. So a break of 64 cents, and you could see, I mean, the next, ooh, yeah, we're at a key level. There's a lot of price rejection around 64, 65 cents. So pushing over 65 cents, it could send us back up to 78 cents. Yeah, each penny is important. I mean, you could draw lines at almost any round number, but, you know, breaking through these wicks, I would say, you know, if we get over 67 cents, that's going to send us mooning. So XRP is looking really good. Shiba Inu, gross chart, ugly, worst looking chart I looked at. Maybe not today. Looked at a lot of ugly charts today, but this is the worst looking crypto chart. Yikes. I'm speechless. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I just wanted to keep it short and simple. You know, if you guys lost some money today, you know, what names in your portfolio held up today? Let me know, like, what are you invested in right now that you were like, oh, it didn't drop today? I'm curious to know. I really am, because I'm curious, like, what stocks have been surviving this bloodbath. So if you could comment that below, or let me know if there is any stock that or any asset, whatever, that you want me to look at and analyze. I am taking requests. This is an early up and coming YouTube channel, and your help is appreciated. The like buttons help the algorithm, the comments help the algorithm, and if you like these videos, why don't you become a subscriber? I still don't have 100 subscribers. It'd be awesome for you to join me on this journey. But with that being said, Risky Ryan out. Oh, before I go, I'm going to a music festival this weekend, so I'm not going to have as many videos in all likelihood, but I'm not going anywhere, okay? I'll be back. I'll be back. This might be my last video before then. I'll try to do one tomorrow. Anyways, Risky Ryan out. See you later.